got picture yet? Picture? Where's picture? Picture. Ah! There we go. Morning all. How are we all this morning? 22nd of December, 3 days till Christmas. God, isn't it coming quick? Excuse me a second. I'm just going to let my dog in. He's going to keep scratching otherwise. Okay, where are we? Morning, Sam. Morning, Wood. Morning, Dream Traders. Starting to get that Christmassy feeling. Morning, Michael. I think finally most of the Christmas shopping's done, which means most of the money has been spent. So, okay. Let's have a quick look at the market. I've been looking this morning, and I'll tell you what I think is going to happen today. Okay. Right, this is my guesstimate, if you call it that. Okay, so quickly going to look at the daily. Now, the daily, ever since about March, morning leader loser, since about March, as we've discussed over the last few days, has made this continuous downtrend. And we, obviously, I was surprised we pushed down that far, to be honest with you. So I expected yesterday that we'd get a bit of a pullback, so we did basically. So I think it was a day before we had that bearish pin bar or pin bar-ish, followed by that, which was yesterday, which was another sort of uptrend. So we had 2 days where we were pushing up. Now we've got this big bearish bar pushing down. So I think now is that second phase there of another downward move. So that's what I'm expecting today, a downward move. Morning, Kim. Okay, so look at this. Market's open down. We've had this good, strong push down. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting today. If we quickly look at the 10,000 tick chart, we've had a measured move there, 2 legs down to the bottom where it's starting to phase out. So I think now we're going to push up a little bit. Okay. So we're having this bit of sideways movement. I'm guessing we may push up a little bit, pop out the range and push down. And then I think we're going to do a little bit of ranging, something like that. Obviously to counteract for such a big push down. And then I think we're likely going to have something like that again, maybe another measured move down, which that will give us that push down that I think we're due for on the daily. So that's my thoughts on what's likely to happen. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I expected a good push down, and I sat down around about here. So we've had what I expected. So we've had that push down. So I've drawn that there, measured move. So I'm guessing we're going to maybe flit around here somewhere for a chunk of the day, and then I think we're likely to have another push down, which is good, because hopefully, if we can start to move down in a channel, we can look for some entries. So at least we can get a half decent entry, then we may be able to run it down and make ourselves a few quid today. So that's my thoughts on what is possibly going to happen, and then obviously we'll join all this up at the end of the day, and we're going to get that downtrend. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen anyway. So that's my humble opinion. Morning, Michael. Sitting right on yesterday's what's RTH? RTH. What's that, mate? Yesterday's RTH. RTH. I've heard that before. What is it? I'm blank a minute. Morning, Nicholas. Or good afternoon, Nicholas. I have drawn yesterday's open here, and yesterday's low as well. So, and there's yesterday's high. I don't think we're going to get back up here, to be honest with you. Regular trading hours. Oh, okay. Okay. There you go. Accountability. Yeah. Okay. Got you. New York stock market hours. Yeah. Okay. Morning, Accountability King. So we had this good push down. We're likely to maybe pop out here and probably have another low, and then I think we may come up a little bit, and then I think we're gonna. So I've just drawn that just to give me an idea. We're gonna have a push down, some sideways stuff, and then another push down. That's my thoughts on what is likely to happen based on a quick browse at the daily this morning, and the 2 pushes down I can see on the 10,000 tick chart. Push down, push down. So I think it's likely we're going to come up a little bit, which is going to give us our break and then possibly a new low. And then I would say somewhere in the region of probably that we're probably going to do for a chunk of the day before I think we're going to make another push down. So we'll see. We'll see. That's just my rough idea. Let's have a look. RG, morning. Good morning. Emily, hi Lance and guys. Can't trade today. All my accounts are greyed out in Ninja Trader and no balances showing on any of them. Okay. All my accounts are greyed out in Ninja Trader. Yeah, try and reset it. It's unusual. I've never experienced any grey out. I'm assuming by you mean literally the colour's gone. Is that what you mean? Crypto Mojo, morning. Are you a new face? You might be. Welcome. Yeah, try resetting it. I know sometimes if you go into, you can delete your, I forget what it is now. You go into somewhere. Let me have a think. I've gone blank. I think you delete the tick, the minute, and the something or other, and you just try it again. I've tried, but nothing is working. No balances on any of them. Okay, so nothing on here, basically. Okay, it might not necessarily be an issue. Your side, it might possibly be. Can you get into Rhythmic okay? Try if you get into Rhythmic okay. The only thing I can say is just try and reboot it, and then just try again in half an hour or something and see what happens. It might be a little issue or something, but just, keep having a look, see what happens. But yeah, like Brand says, send the ticket in to Apex, and hopefully they might give you a little bit of feedback. Or what I tend to do is I go on one of the Facebook channels and just say, is anyone having any issues with Rhythmic or Ninja Trader? And usually you might get a few people saying, yeah, they are, which is a good thing, which means one of them usually has put a ticket in and hopefully things will sort themselves out. Okay, so we've had what I expected, so I'm looking for a short here. Where's that gone there? Right, I kind of like that one, but I don't. Okay, maybe as I should have done. I just don't know why that made that bit of a stem there, so market's definitely open. That would have given me a few points, I think. Let's have a look. So it comes up again. To be fair, I don't think I'd have been quick enough anyway. It did move really quick, didn't it, weren't we? So that's where I'd have usually taken something like that. It's probably going to pop out the bottom, I'd say. But it may come back a bit first. Yeah, it's probably going to pop down here, I'd say. What else have we got in here? Oh, morning, Brant. We've had a quick chat with you. Yeah, it's not usually anything you've done, to be honest with you. It's usually something wrong with the system somewhere. There's our new low. Ooh, nice. So that would have been a good trade, actually. Did anybody get in there, or was anyone a bit too slow? Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting some strong downward movement. I wasn't quite expecting that. We've had some news earlier, a while ago. Didn't really do a lot. And we've got nothing else today so far. We were going to take that as a triple test. At the top here, and here, yeah. Looking for one down here, actually, to see if there was a way up it. That's a shame, really. because I kind of like where it finished. Sometimes I do like 2 pushes up though, unless it's tight, but I think that was close enough. But it's just the way that it built a bit more of a stem, which told me maybe we're going to go a bit higher, so I left it, but well. Morning, Jacko. So that was a shame, actually. It's quite a nice push down. I wasn't expecting that much. So let's have a little look. Okay, so we've had a good push down. In fact, that probably may even open up that channel a bit from here to here. Let's have a look. Not sure. I'm going to leave it where it is for now. Don't want to create any. So hopefully now I think we'll likely maybe do some form of range, and I don't think it'll go down much further. This is possibly a target. Yesterday's open and yesterday's lows as well, so that might be a target. But I think okay, so that is 2 pushes down, bullish. Sorry, that might be a way up, but I think it's risky. Yeah, I think it's likely going to go up maybe a lower high or a higher low. Let's have a look. Let's get an order ready. I've got a feeling we may get a bit of action today. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if that pushes below. Okay. Let's see if that... maybe not. Okay, let me just put my phone onto mute. Yes. Oh. Okay. That was it. Oh, let's get that. Yeah, that was a shame. That would have been a... Could have got a few points there. I'd have probably left mine at 3.5. I thought if it gets through the bottom, it might push, but I wasn't expecting that much. Okay, so we've had this. We've had 2 legs down. If we can get something bullish here, but maybe it is going to just go a bit further. I'll be surprised if we get down here in 1 push, but depends how strong the selling is this morning. We're all daddy. Morning. Wow, look at that. So if you'd have taken that one, you'd have just got shafted. So I'm going to remove that for now. I wasn't expecting that. Not so low. So I think, where are we? Probably 5 points, 5.5 points off this, off yesterday's open. And the lows of yesterday, definitely expected down today, but not quite as dramatic as that. So hopefully we can make a few quid today. It'd be nice. It's been definitely stagnant the last sort of 3 or 4 days, isn't it? A little bit. Not a lot of trades. Bit messy, isn't it? Yeah, it's, I'm pretty sure we're coming up at some point. But picking the bottom's just dangerous, in my opinion. Morning, Philip. How you doing, buddy? Merry Christmas to everyone. It's coming around quick, isn't it? That's the downside if you enjoy trading about Christmas, because it's probably the only time of the year we have such a decent, such a decent sized break. I remember last Christmas I was itching to get in and trade. Okay. It's probably going to lightly come up here a bit now, I'd say. Can't see how it go much further without at least coming back to the EMA. Hey Fife, how you doing, buddy? In fact, just wondering if there was a second entry off here, I think I'd probably take that with the amount of downward pressure at the moment. We have had that big pullback, another push down, big pullback, and we've got that target here. So I think if we can get a short off here, I think I'm interested. Did look at that one, but that little bit of stem just bottled me the last minute. And to be fair, if you got in there, if you're quick enough, it did half shoot down. So you might not have been lucky enough to get on that move, but if you did, it was a nice move that was. It went down about, what, 12 points, 10 points, 12 points, maybe a bit more. Thanks. First successful trade. How about you? Did you go off that, did you? Now I look at it, actually, it's a nice trade, that is. Okay, so we've had this. Right, that for me is a bit risky. I'd expect another one first. Having said that, there's amount of... Sometimes the selling pressure's that great, it just doesn't even have a chance to push back as much as I thought. Okay, you tried too fast, yeah. I think, yeah, if you doubted that for a second, even just thinking about it, I don't think... You just had to jump in, don't you? The trouble is, when it's going sideways like that, sometimes it makes you go, shall I, shan't I? And by the time you've mulled it over, it's gone. But I've got to say, whenever we do get these pushes back and sideways movement, it always usually does go when we get that nice tight fit. Not as tight as I was expecting it, but that's usually the time it goes. So, morning, Julian. 5, good lads, how's tricks? I'm all right, mate. Not too bad at all. Getting better by the day as all these presents are finally being wrapped and all sorted. And all the spending's more or less come to an end. Yeah, I did look at that one, but there's no setup really. And to be honest with you, as we've had this push down, I prefer that to be a little bit closer to the body. But I think we're probably going to hit it, and then we may have a bit of movement. You just don't know, do you? I think after such a strong push down on the daily here, I mean, that's a hell of a push down without having a pullback. So we had to have a pullback at some point, and we have over the last couple of days, but I think now it's down. So that's what I'm expecting. Would have preferred a second entry on that first setup. Yeah, do you know, sometimes I think that's the only time I don't take a setup is if we get this sideways movement and it butts up tight to that. Now, for starters, if you look at that going sideways, and we're in that range, aren't we? That is right at the top of it. The body couldn't get any higher, closer to that top, could it? And then when they do usually butt up against that, that's the time when they just go. So I think that's the only time I'll do it without a setup. There are some times you just look at it and you think that's, you know, if that pushed straight up there and that went right up here and pushed right down with the big body stuck right beside that, the fact that it didn't make a second entry wouldn't concern me so much, because whenever I see those, and I will say keep an eye out for them, and just make a note of how many times they go, and sooner or later I think you'll want to get stuck into one of them. Or a fail break above the range. Yeah, I mean, it did. It pushed out a little bit and closed. But if we look where these bodies are finished here, it closed here, bodies, that's probably where it touched the most. And I like the fact that it's right up and out of it and it's tight to this. The only thing that put me off a tiny touch is this little bit of a stem here. You know what I mean? But, yeah, well. Right, so I think it's going to hit this. It may even smash straight through it, to be honest with you, but let's have a look. Okay, so we've had this strong push down, break, new low, and the angle, the downwards angle, I think is slowly decreasing. So I think we'll probably hit this, and then I expect some form of sideways stuff. Can't keep going like that, really. It's got to slow down at some point. I mean, that's quite a massive move, that is, isn't it, really? Without any type of news. Where's that? Yeah, 67.5 point move, that is. It's quite a big push down without any news, without making some kind of correction. But I am expecting some movement and then another push down later. Right. Angle of the dangle, correct. Let's have a look. I think I'll be a little bit worried about going short here, so close to that bottom. Let's see how close it gets. Typical one. We've pushed down, touched, pushed down, touched, pushed down. Solid law, it'd bounce and off it'd go. So it's definitely slowing down. I mean, the pushes have been significantly, the sort of dips have been significantly slower, and then we're getting a little bit of this sideways, which a little bit of uncertainty. Are we going lower? Which is probably doubtful. Are we going to touch this, or are we going to pull back up a little bit? Which I think is more likely. Could say that's a hidden second entry long, but it's sideways, so, and it's too far from the image. Yeah, it's just a risky trade, that, especially the amount of distance we've covered. Hopefully, breaking 2 legs down to a new low off the main channel. About it. Plenty of fine whiskey for the festive period. Yeah, I've got a 12-year bottle of Aberlour. That's under the Christmas tree wrapped. They think I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. I can just tell that by the shape of the tums it in. I bought a new bottle of Glenlivet 12-year-olds about 4 or 5 days ago, so I had a couple of them last night. I've got half a bottle of my Lafroig, 10-year-old Lafroig. That's one of the highly peated ones, the one that has been dried with peat, so you either love it or you hate it. First glass I ever had, I thought it was absolutely foul. It's my favourite whiskey now, so... and I think I've got a whiskey glass wrapped somewhere. Yeah, nice time to get a drink out of Aberlour. Oh, is it really? I think, is that Speyside, isn't it? I think it's Speyside, Aberlour. I can't think. I tend to like Speyside. I think it is Speyside, actually, yeah. And I did... It's been on offer, actually. It's down to about £30, that is. But the one I wanted is Balvenie, the 12-year-old Balvenie. It's about 45 quid at the moment. I've been seeing if that's going to come down in the sale, but... they're having none of it. So yeah, I like my whiskey. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. See where they're going to smash. You don't like the peaches? Well, to be honest with you, mate, like I say, I went from a Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve, which is quite a mildish whiskey as far as whiskey goes, and then I bought that, and I opened it, had a little sniff of it, and I remember saying to my wife, I can't drink that, it's foul. But someone said to me, Speyside, someone said to me, leave it for a week, then go back to it, try it again, and then go back to it, try it again. And I've done that over about the last 5 or 6 weeks, and I absolutely love it now. I've got one of those Glencairn glasses my wife bought me with a sort of a fluted top, and I just can't help but sniff it. I'm turning into a whiskey sniffer, yeah, I just can't get enough of the smell of it. What do we do here, guys? So we've hit yesterday's open, yesterday's highs. What do we do here? I'm kind of hoping it doesn't... yeah, it's not bullish anyway, but I think that's risky. If you go to the 8:30 news spike and draw a shallower channel immediately after that, it fits nice with the less steeper trend. So that would have been 130 on my chart, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. Which is about... I'm taking... it's got to be there, I'm saying, isn't it? Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, that looks all right, doesn't it? Let's have a look at that. Yeah. God, it's a hell of a down, isn't it? Steepen that. In fact, I'm going to pull that out of the way for a bit. Let's leave that about there. That fits. Yeah. Okay, so you could say that. See, I am expecting to get up here at some point. I can't see, because of the width of that channel, how it can continue down much longer without getting a correction. I'm the connoisseur here. I don't know. I just I drank whiskey on and off for years, but not because I enjoyed the taste so much. I just found sometimes pints just bloated me, and I had a guy, a friend of a friend, came over from America and bought a bottle of Maker's Mark, a bourbon, and normally I can't stand stuff, but we shared the bottle between three of us, and I thought it was quite a mild, nice way of having a few drinks without feeling sick. I'm tempted to take this. Something I don't like about it. So then every time I, got a bit fed up, I had a few whiskies. But lately I've just enjoyed, because 10 years ago all whiskies just tasted the same to me, but now I can distinguish, and I do really enjoy them. I enjoy a whiskey or two just when I get home. It's nice to relax, like that warming feeling. It doesn't burn anymore. So, yeah. Okay, I'd like a lower high here. I'm just wondering if we are going to come down. See, it's bounced off there, isn't it? So, I'm expecting it to come up here somewhere. So, to come down again, I'll be a little bit nervous about getting into a trade. You know, when a trade's more or less worked itself out and it's now starting to go sideways? I would say I'm expecting it a bit higher. BC, I like that channel. BC, I like that channel. BC, what's that, mate? BC. There is you're not on about whiskey, because there's a couple of guys I watch on YouTube, actually. So, the only downside is when you start opening these channels up, you could potentially cover up a break and a new low, which means then once the trends broke out, which technically that's the low, it might then start, you know what I mean? But it's such a lot. That's a big old sell-off, that, isn't it? Quite steep and then less steep. We've had a break. I expect a new low, but how much lower do I think it's going to come before we get a correction? Not much lower. That's not really a setup. That wasn't bad, actually. I think that's pretty good. Rain. Hey, buddy. What do you think about the FBO setup after break and trend line? Do you like the setup? I'm assuming you're on about this one, are you? Trouble is, failed breakout, because we've widened this channel. It's sort of covered it up. That's the only one I can see. That one, yeah. To be honest with you, mate, now I can look at it and I know it's coming down. I don't think it's a bad trade at all. That I think it's a pretty good one. The only thing that put me off it was because I know we're a little bit sideways, but I do know when we're sideways, when we come back to the EMA in a downtrend, that's usually where it goes. But just because it started to push back up a bit, I just lost my bottle for a second and then it rocketed. So I think that's sort of an 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 trade, maybe a 9. I think it's a pretty good trade. There's no setup, but I think most experienced traders would take that. I'll be surprised if Mac or Marco wouldn't mark that. I know it, by the count it's technically not, but you could call it a failed breakout of the range, you know what I mean? But I think the fact that it is there, I think it's all right. I think if you took that, I think it's a good trade, actually. On the daily chart, we're looking for a new low after the break of the channel. Yeah. That's the trouble is, if we adjusted this, we may have had a breakout here, although we've got another here. The trouble is you can keep making your channel wider and wider and wider, but then what confirms you've made a new low? Do you know what I mean? So this could be 2 legs followed by a low. I don't know. Let's see how this one finishes. See if this finishes bearish. If it finishes bearish, I think it's worth a shot, actually, but I'm kind of... it's a second entry. Let's have a look. Might do. I think it might do quick as well if it goes. Let's have a look. I don't think it's going to. No. If it would have done, I'd have gone short, but It's just the way it's in the middle there. We could go up a bit more. I don't know. We might go sideways. I think by the looks of things, we may likely get down here, but that was just a bit risky. It might have looked okay on someone else's chart. Kind of triple test up here. Yeah, you could say that as well, really, couldn't you? Up here, up here, up here. Yeah, you could call it a triple test. But I think what I'm finding, the more I sit in front of charts, the more I notice places where they do go regardless of where we get, you know, an actual setup. I think setups are there to teach people to trade, but I think once you get more experienced, you get better at spotting areas where they do move. So I suppose you can, I see we're getting a failed second entry line. I am expecting it to come up here, but I think that's risky because we may get some, I'm expecting some sideways. So I wouldn't want to go along there. I think we've got to get a correction. Yeah, I don't think I could go long or short here at the moment. Tighten your channel a little bit. It looks like an overshoot where you drew the range. Let's have a look at the bigger range, you mean? The thinner one here. Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, I see what you mean. Let's have a look. Yeah, because it's quite a steep move, isn't it? And it's those steep moves that cause an overshoot. Yeah, the thing is, sometimes when you get an overshoot, you can get the same this side, but I think just the way that is near the EMA is a good place to go low, actually. It's just the fact that it's a bit sideways, and it's just when it started to push off that bottom there, and that little stem made me a bit nervous, but, I'd rather be overcautious than too easily to jump in. So, got it. Yeah. I was in it, but chickened out. Yeah, let's have a look. How quick did it move down? It moved down quite quick, didn't it? So usually when we have that push down, once it breaks down below here, it goes pretty quick, and it certainly did, wasn't it? I mean, really, where was you taking it to? It's hard to say, but it did half come down, wasn't it? Look at that. You could have got 20 points out of that. Christ. Hindsight, a wonderful thing, isn't it? It would have worked, yeah. Do you know one thing I have learned is I've got to trust my trades a little bit more, because sometimes, like I had a loss the other day, a $400 loss, and there was 2 trades I took in the afternoon, which would have made, I lost my bottle on a couple of them. I probably took a couple of points on one of them, and maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 ticks on another, because I lost my bottle a little bit, and they actually would have made quite a few points. So what I've got to learn is if I see a good setup, I've got to at least get me 3.5 points out of it. I say 3.5 points because for me that's average. If you look at that there, the ATRs say 2 3/4 points, tick above, tick and below. That's 3.25 points. So I like 3.5. Sometimes it's a bit lower than 3.5. Sometimes it's a bit above it. This may now just break this bottom, I think, here. Risky going short here. It may career out the bottom, but I don't know. So that's fell second entry long, but I think that's risky. I wouldn't be shocked if that came and ticked above there. Especially when we're so close to the bottom. Yeah, it's going to tick above there, I think. Yeah. See, that's a failure. And you're thinking, obviously, we're coming down here, aren't we? But that's the trouble is, if you've adjusted this could have been your break, or further up could have been your break, and then this may have been your new low. So then you're not necessarily trying to go lower. So you still think the 2000 tick chart is the best one? I've ever wondered if Mac will ever change with the volumes trading. That's a bit beyond my pay grade, that, bud. I've only ever traded the 2000 tick chart. I'll look at a couple of others, just mainly the 10,000, just to give a bigger overall picture, and the daily to give me an idea where it's going to be. The trouble is, when you sort of stick to the same thing, it's hard to be able to make a comparison to anything else. I got to say, it works well. So whether you know the 5 minute, I think it's supposed to be closer to the 5 minute. Whether the 5 minute would work any different, I don't know. But I tend to, if it's not broken, don't change it, and it's working for me at the moment. You know, whenever you see a good setup, they just work. You know, I mean, this one here, if that body had been closer to here, and that would have finished on its lows for me, they just don't fail. I don't think I've ever taken a trade that looks like that on a downtrend and ever lost it. So, you know, I just think it works all right. So, I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it, really? When the HCR reaches about 8 or 9, I use the thick. Yeah. When was it? Something changed, didn't it? Was it during lockdown or something? Was it bars got bigger or smaller, and Mac advised us to go up, didn't he, to change it to, and I think I changed to the 3,000 tick chart just to counteract different movement, I think. That was a while ago, wasn't it? When was that? 6 or 8 months ago or something. But yeah, something was happening. The bars were getting bigger, or it was moving I think it might have been moving really fast, because I think it was all the stuff with lockdown and the interest rates careering up. I can't remember whether it was moving faster or the bars were bigger, but yeah, he recommended moving to I think it was the 3,000. I did the same, actually. Jacko, yeah, while you were learning, if you change the 3,000, you can compare it to... Yeah, I think if you do change it to 3, I think the bars just slow down a bit. To be honest with you, I don't think these are quick enough for me. My brain just seems to work on 1.5 speed all the time, so that's why I like trading, because I've tried trading, you know, early in the mornings and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, I'm quite a wired person, so I like quite quick movement. Thanks, man. Good strategy. Say your name, Drapple Team. Yeah, 5 minutes. Not as clear as it. Yeah. I've not really. I know some people use the 5 a little bit now and again. But no, I've only ever stuck to this. I have. For me, 2,000 tick chart works good at all. For me, that works good at all. If it would be better, some other setting, I think Mac would mention it. Yeah. So at the moment, trust him. Yeah. I mean, he's the best we've got, really, isn't he? He's the most experienced. I believe Mac's been trading this for about 27 years, I believe. So, yeah, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? When you listen to him, he's quite a very calm, focused guy. You know, he's, you know, you get that impression, you get that sort of confidence instilled from him. You know, volume has picked up because the amount of trading has picked up since lockdown. Everyone is trying to get their hand. Yeah, that's for certain, isn't it? There's more and more, isn't there? I know my sister's down at the moment, and she spoke to my brother-in-law. She went, "What are you up to?" She went, "I'm watching your brother." So my brother-in-law down in Winchester was watching one of my videos, and he's thinking about giving trading a go. So yeah, it's so accessible, isn't it? You need a platform and a computer, really. That's it. So yeah, more and more people are having a crack, aren't they? And I suppose you can't blame them. 5 for sure. Mac is the goat. Yeah, he is. Definitely for sure. Roll Daddy on FOMC. Try 2,500 ticks. See, I wasn't expecting that. But I think we're probably likely going to go to low, didn't we? So, well, that's some selling that, isn't it? Christ almighty, we're going to need a bigger screen in a minute. So I'd say this is probably going to turn into a spike in a channel, I would have said. So something like that. Maybe that looks alright, doesn't it? Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this, see if this looks any better. Okay. Fits here. Pretty good, I think. Spike and channel, something like that, maybe. There's our spike. There's our channel, yeah, something like that. I think the wider it gets, the further it could go down, really. Obviously, if it's very thin and it keeps going down, that just can't be sustained for longer. So I think what it might do is come a bit further here and come a bit further here, and that might end up opening up possibly to incorporate this section into it at some point, maybe. I don't know, but this is blowing my idea, isn't it? I don't even think we're going to get a chance to have another. I think at some point we've got to do something and then have another leg down, but trouble is, I just can't see this happening, really. I can't see having another one, I don't know. Maybe not. Let's get rid of them for now and see if we do get a move up. Let's get rid of that. I think we can safely say we're not in a range at the moment. And with futures, the numbers of brokers are allowing you to trade with 500. Yeah, so I know you guys have. If you trade in stocks, or I think it's anything apart from futures and options. If you trade in those, haven't you? Isn't it you got to have $25,000 in an account or something? Doesn't matter over here. You can trade over here with whatever you like. You know, $500, $200. It doesn't matter. But you have the what do they call it? The something rule, day trading, day trading. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. I forget what they call it now. But yeah, so it's better for you guys, isn't it? Because who's got 25,000 quid to gamble? You know, and let's face it, when you start to learn to trade, it's as good as gambling it, isn't it? I think it's fair you're going to lose it. I just sold where the breakout got 2.5 points. Here, yeah. To be fair, mate, wherever it comes back to the EMA here, if you look here, anywhere really, it kept moving down, doesn't it? But whenever you notice them and decide to do it yourself, you're down here, aren't you? And you end up getting taken out. Pattern day trading rule, yeah. I think you've got to have $25,000, isn't it? I think you're okay if you're doing futures or options, aren't you? Or cryptos. I don't think they come under the same umbrella, I think. Are you still with us, Emily? Are you back up and running, are you? Let's have a look at Nathan Panda, yeah. It's pattern day trading, yeah. Root or something, yeah. Are you back up and running? Are things working for you or not? Repeat pattern is pretty obvious today, in my opinion. Yeah. Comes down a bit, goes a bit sideways, comes down a bit sideways, comes down a bit. Just wondering how much it can go down. Let's have a look on here. This is the day. I mean, if you look at this, we pushed down, didn't we? Pulled off, and then look, we had a big old push down. What did we come down there? 100, 200. In the space of, what, 5 days? In that one day, we came down, I'd say 150 points just there. Let's see if I can open that up and have a look. Let's have a look. What was that? I don't know if I'm on that accurate. Let's have a look. I don't know. I can't tell. It's about 93. It's about 70 something points. Yeah, we could certainly get a big old push down. That's for certain. But I will try again. They said they will let me know. And tech are aware of the problem. That's a good thing then, because there's usually probably a few people, and if there's a lot more pressure from a few people, they're going to want people blowing accounts. They're not going to want people doing nothing. So I'm guessing they're going to get people back up and running. Okay, so another little correction here. So hopefully I'll get you, because we're having all the fun at the moment and you're just sat watching. Let's have a look. I like that. Okay. Right. I know it's risky, but it keeps doing it. Yeah. I said this yesterday. Sometimes when you don't think it can come down any further, it just continues to go down. It's surprising, really. And considering we haven't really had any news today, are we expecting? Is that probably it news-wise, isn't it? Before Christmas, I wouldn't have thought. Uncle Sam, PDT, mate. What's that? Pretty damn tired? What is it? Oh, pattern day trading. Of course it is. Of course it is. Okay, so let's see what happens when we get up here. Trouble is, you're thinking, okay, look, every time it comes back to the EMA, it's going down again. But sod's law, as soon as you jump in, it ticks below and comes up here and turns this into a bigger range. Break new low, shallower trend. Yeah, it's got to correct a little bit bigger than this, I think, at some point, isn't it? Considering the market's only been open for 40 minutes, I can't see it keep going down anymore. It's a fair old push down, is it? It's got to come back up here, surely, isn't it? Maybe, you know, a bit of sideways, bit of staggered, slightly up a bit, and then I think maybe if we can get around in this area, possibly another leg down. Well, if that starts to happen, then it might be a good idea that at least we've got a better option to look for shorts. But look, down again, look. It's just too risky taking them, isn't it, with the way things are? Yeah, see, if you'd have took that one, you'd have been knackered. If you'd have took that one, it's just risky. Taking a long there. Daniel, how you doing, brother? Waiting for a pullback at least, yeah. Just a bit risky taking that, isn't it? Especially the way things careered down. But I dare say there will be some traders looking to pick a bottom, and that's as good as any. So sometimes you come back up here, and then you pull down, and as soon as it breaks down here, down it goes again. So, yeah, I was out shopping. Oh. Is she dragging you around, is she? I did my food shop this morning. Actually, I left the house. The local supermarket was open at 6. So I got out of bed, did the shopping for an hour, spent about 120 quid, packed it all, went back to bed, and the wife didn't have a clue. It's all done and dusted. I got to say, usually I get sort of a little bit miserable after Christmas, I do, but at the moment, with things going well, I'm kind of excited for the new year, I am. The plan is to start earning a little bit of regular money and then take my job down from 4 days a week to just weekends, while I can hopefully get this $2,000 a month. That'll allow me to just work weekends or even every other weekend. So I'll class myself as semi-retired then. So hopefully if we can get through the first 3 months, then I can get an income that I can give up work altogether and just trade from home, and that'll be the best day ever, I've got to say. Let's have a look, Jacko. No, I don't just trust sideways and down. Yeah. See, if we look back, we've had the sideways gap, sideways again, smaller gap. It does seem to be slowly, can't keep going down. At some point, it's got to correct a little bit. Have we got any sideways up here? A little bit there. But yeah, I mean, it's not a huge trend. It's pretty relatively steep, isn't it? So I can't see how it's going to come down much further without, you know, doing some sort of a, you know, something like this. You know, as a rough idea, somewhere around that area. Yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah. I'd so love to not work in that. I got to say, I've always hated working for other people. I really have. I've worked for some good firms over the years, but it's just something about it. You know what I mean? Going out and working for. I did have a small business a few years ago, but it's just nothing nice. Just something nice about training from home, isn't there? You know, especially in the winter, you just haven't got to go out freezing cold mornings, go and work, you know, 40, 50 hours from someone else. I like the 3-4 hour days. I mean, that is amazing. That is, you can trade that. You know, through the winter, you haven't got to go out in the freezing cold. You know, summer, lovely. You know, you get a lot more of a day, so you can get out and enjoy the summer. We have a pool in our garden, nothing flashy. It's just a 12-foot round pool. It's an Intex thing, you know, one of these big steel frame ones. And we got a decent, proper filter with a timer and all that. So I like that in the summer, and I want to spend more time outdoors doing, you know, barbecuing and in the pool and just doing a bit of sunbathing. And it's hard to do that when you're working for someone else and you're out the house 50 hours a week. So, you know, I have this plan of just having way more time. There it goes again. Yeah, I know. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. It's going down, but no setups. Now I know. Strange, isn't it? See, having said that, every time it does come back to either the channel, the EMA, look, we get a red bar goes down, red bar goes down, red bar goes down. And that's often the way. That one goes down, if it comes back up but doesn't tick it, that one. It's often the way, that, isn't it? But I know sometimes when we get a steep channel, Mac does say for people a little bit more experienced, they may, you know, go for areas like this, but it's not something I feel confident in getting into just yet. That 1 year, even though it wasn't a setup, because I just like where that finished. Yeah, it's the appeal of trading. You don't deal with other humans unless you want to. Yeah, sometimes people can be arses, can't they? I've worked for some flipping horrible bosses over the years. I have. Yeah. And some of these companies give you all this crap about equality and all that. I worked for a company for 11 and a half years. And on every notice board in that building, they had signs about equality. Probably told you this before, but come Christmas, all the managers and their wives got taken away for the night. Hotel, massive big slap-up meal, free drinks, everything. And all the lads, all the workers got nothing. They had to arrange their own, so that's not quality to me. I don't want to be with a company that, like, you know, that treats you completely different on two different levels. No, not for me. Guess we're coming back up to retest. Yeah, see, look at this. I like that bar very much. That's actually a failed second entry short. Let's long. Let's just see if it. No, it doesn't finish. Okay, because we've got a new high here. That eye's higher than there. So first entry, second entry. Signal bar's crap. Maybe we'll get two pushes. I think the further it gets down here, the riskier it becomes. Because I think at some point we're going to get some sort of a move upwards a little bit. Maybe this will turn into a second entry short. But typically, every time it comes up here, it's just gone down. Watching V. Wilson. What do you think about his style of trading? I watched him a couple of nights ago. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. He seemed to do a lot better on when he was doing on a demo. He was killing it on a demo for some reason. But I suppose that's the difference between what we do here. Let's have a look at that. No, I'm kind of glad I did that. See if we can get another one up here, but that might be a little bit sideways there. Let's see. I'll tell you who I really rate if you want to watch a great trader is the Penguins guy. I think his read on the market is brilliant. He just knows what's going on. He's just really in tune with it. Right, there is a second entry short there. Let's see how that finishes. It's going to finish on its low for me, but the trouble is, the bit that's worrying me is this little bit of sideways stuff. So unless it pushes right down strongly, I'm staying out of this. No, I'm kind of glad I did that. A bit sideways. It's got to come up at some point, I'd say. Try drawing the channel from 230 high. 1 second. Okay, let's see what happens here. This has got to finish very, very bearish for me. And it's got to engulf it, otherwise I can't get in. It's only 8 ticks at the moment, but I've got a feeling it's not going to. No. It's got to slow down at some point. Right, well, just from 2:30 my time, yeah. Let's have a look. 2:30, which would be here. This one here, yeah. Yeah, it kind of fits as well, doesn't it? Tell you what, let me just get rid of the colour there. So we've got the channel, but it's still there. Yeah, touching right there, isn't it? Yeah, I think what's happening is we had steep, less steep, lesser steep. That makes any sense. Right. Let's have a look at this. So if we are going by that, what's this one here for? Let's have a look. Right. Yeah. Okay. In fact, let's get rid of him for a minute. Yeah, it's definitely touching here, touching. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Probably actually push that a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Quite surprised how much it is pushing down. What does it look like on the Yeah, see if you look on the daily, it certainly could go down a lot more, really, couldn't we? We've had this strong push, pull back. I mean, that could come down here. This could double the amount of distance it's come down, really. It could do. See what happens here. Where are we? Oh, he passed his evaluation, Kim. Well done. Good on him. I have noticed he's got them, so let's see how he gets on now. But when he was on a demo, he was killing it. He takes a few more trades, and some of them are highly risked. But if you take more trades and you're getting a decent amount of move, I don't think it's that bad. So, I'm looking at everything. I watch my trades. SP 500. Not sure of him. I'll have to look at that. There is a bearish bar there, but EMA's flat. Jacko. Yeah, sitting here. Got another. Oh, yeah. Grant Fox, you're a new face. Where am I from? By that comment, I'm guessing that's a good British name, isn't it? So I'm from Shropshire, bud. Grant, welcome, mate. You're a new face. Grant Fox. Doesn't get any more British than that. I'm from Shropshire, bud, I am. The naked trader, the naked Mongolian. Penguins changed the game for me. Absolutely. I think his trading second to none. He's very, very technical, very skilled, in my opinion. More my style. Thomas Wade is good as well. Yeah, in fact, I actually prefer the Penguins guy to Thomas Wade, purely and simply because the Penguins guy is very technical and he makes a lot more profit out the moves. So I prefer him to Thomas. Not that I don't like Thomas, I do, and I watch his stuff, but I think he's a more experienced trader. To me, that's the impression I get. Let's, yeah. It's a bit of sideways there, isn't it? He's Sussex. Southeast. Okay, so you're around sort of Kentish way. Are you around there? Down near the tunnel somewhere? In fact, there's quite a few from the UK here. There's another guy here from London. Someone from Norfolk. There's a couple, here from Scotland. I'm trying to think where in Scotland. It'll come to me. Gone blank. It'll come to me. Yeah, Keithy and Fife trader. So yeah, we got quite a few actually. Quite a few, maybe 6, I think, on this stream. Yeah. So welcome, Grant. Oh, Brighton. It's at East. South, east. East is over there near the tunnel, is it? Brighton, Eastbourne. Oh, yeah, I got you. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's further south. Hopefully it's warmer, isn't it? Dream Teams, Penguin Trades. Much more big picture. Yeah. Small moves don't seem to interest him. No, they don't. But, a lot of the times you'll take 7 points out of a move. You do 2 of them a day, you're going to make a ton of money. So I know what you're saying, but if it's working for him, I suppose we all have our slight, different. Daniel, does Penguin trade live? I don't believe he does. Unless he's got some form of a forum or something he does. I don't think he does. Not many people do, to be honest with you. I know Thomas has tried it before, but he stopped. I know Max mentioned it. A lot of people have asked him over the years to trade live, and he said he started to try it once and it affected his trading sort of negatively. And he knew another guy who was a good, successful trader, and he tried it, and it affected his as well. But personally, I think it complements mine. I can watch the chart, I can see what's going on, I can chit-chat at the same time. And it doesn't seem to make a difference to my trading, so I don't know why. Perhaps I've got a gift. The gift of being able to chat. I don't know. I'm not sure. Kind of like this. I kind of like this. Let's see how far it goes. Kind of like this. Oh, not too soon, not too soon. Bit overwhelmed. Let's have a look. It's quite a big bar, actually. Let's have a look, see if it finishes on its low. It's a big old bar, that is. It's a big old bar. Kind of like the way it's gone sideways, and I like the way that's finished. It is a big bar. I think it's okay, though. Let's see if we can get our 3.5 out of it, yeah. Perhaps I should have took on a limit order, but I think it's okay. I'm just going to give that an extra tick. I don't mind having a bit of a pullback or a touch here, but went a bit sideways and then started to move down, and I kind of like where it finished. Let's see what happens. I don't mind if it ticks above here. It's typically the one time I take a short right on the EMA. Let's see what happens. Okay. May turn bad here for us. Let's see what happens. If we can push below here, then I'm happy then. Just don't like the way we've had a bit of a doji. Got to get below here. If we can get below here, I think we're golden. Just end up bearish. That'll do, mate. Keep coming down. Come on. Come on, come on. As long as it ends up bearish. I'm not a doji. So what have we got anyway? 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4.2 points, I think. I think we're okay. I think the trend will help us out here, I think. but I have said it's got to come out at some point, so I don't know. Maybe we won't. Four, five, six, seven. Oh, it's getting a bit worrying. Oh, I've given an extra tick. Now I'm a bit worried. Okay, it was a lower high, isn't it? I gave it an extra tick because sometimes it'll tick above it and then come down. That's why sometimes I give it an extra tick. But I think we need to get that down below here. We'll see. No, I think we're going to get stopped out, yeah. It's got to finish bearish, this has. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, I think we've got a lifeline. If we can get below here, my confidence level will climb. If we can get below here, then I think I got my target. Okay, so that's a little better if we can get below here. See what I mean about the extra tick? That's why sometimes you'll see me give an extra tick. And lots of cases, it's made a difference. I'm not saying I'm not now going to get stopped out, but I think at some point it's got to go that way, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I think if this ends up bullish, I think I can kiss my ass goodbye, I think. Sideways a bit. Sideways. If we can get below here, it's trying to push down. If we can get below here, then my confidence is going to climb a little bit, but come on, baby. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm happy we're going to get our points now. We have made a new low, so... Oh, it went right down and touched it. Look at that. Okay. Right, okay. So, the trouble is, see, and you will see me a lot of the times give it an extra tick. Now, in 9 out of 10 cases, that extra tick won't even come into play. But this time it has, look. And the reason I gave it an extra tick, because in some cases, buyers can push that up, knowing that then they'll short then. And look at that. If I'd have left that one tick I got there, I'd have got stopped out. Just bear that in mind. Sometimes that extra tick, I heard Max say that. Sometimes at least an extra tick. But, you know, it's still bearish, isn't it? And in some cases, if people took that, I even considered putting it up here because I was pretty sure we were going to push down a bit more. But just that extra tick made the difference. And that extra tick's $25, isn't it? And you think... You'd have to lose that 10 times, well, 15 times to lose $350, which is the average bar. So, you know, it works out. So just bear that in mind sometimes, especially if we're on a trend. Just that extra tick makes a difference. Good win. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. Very nice. Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Kim. Nice trade. I wish I'd been in front of my PC rather than making a cup of coffee. I'll have a cup of coffee, mate. 2 sweetness, please. What? Yeah, love that one. Very nervous, though. Yeah, I was as well a little bit, to be fair. Good ball strength. Good stuff, Sam. Yeah. I mean, you know, we're clearly in a downtrend. I'm thinking it's got to push up at some point. I took a trade very similar to that probably a week ago. There was 3 of those, and I got stopped out. I think by more. I gave it an extra tick, and I got stopped out by more than a tick. Might have been the last day or so of the evaluation. It was very similar to that, sideways-y but tight downwards. and I gave it an extra tick, and it didn't work that time, but sometimes it does. So I gave it that extra tick, lost $25, gave it an extra tick today, made 400. So, you know, it's, see, look at that, another big bearish bar, right? Well, I like it, but Christ, when's it going to stop? See if that pushes down strong. That's where I like taking them, but I don't know when we have a quick push like that. I can't tell you enough how trades like that just work. See what happens. We got the postman that's about to drop something for the letterbox, so you may hear a bark. My puppy's fast asleep at the moment, but I think it might come up a little bit, but at some point it's going to have to come out of this. It can't continue down, really. Second entry short, yeah. See, I love that bar, and I think if we get a second entry short, it won't come as high as there. But I don't think it'll come up here high enough for me to go short after such a strong move down. Let's have a look. What is it? Okay. Grant, what's my daily goal? I haven't really got one, to be honest with you, mate. If I was to pick something, I would say it would be around about $500 a day. That's what I'd like as a goal. Now, this is day 8. And if I get another... where are we? Another $335, that would be $4,000, which would be $500 a day. If I can get $500 a day, I'll be chuffed to bits, I've got to say. But I don't know, mate. I mean, to be honest with you, as far as I'm concerned, if I take 3.5 points and I do one trade a day at 3.5 points, five days a week, that's what, $1,750 a week. That's $7,000 a month just for trading 2 contracts. Can you imagine trading 20 contracts? You can earn a stack of money, really. The important bit is to be able to trade. Now, I did a 6-month mentorship with a guy called Andrew Lockwood, who was a currency trader in London. He worked in the London Stock Exchange for about 15 years as a pit trader. He's worked all over the world. He spent 5 years in Singapore. He's been places in the Middle East, and he trades from home now. He's got a big house just outside London. He's a lovely bloke, and he does courses, and he's got loads of videos on YouTube. And he told me, focus on getting the trading right, and the money will follow. I guarantee. It's just a matter of scaling up. So that's why I tend to not have a target. As far as I'm concerned, if I can get a green day, I'm happy. Even if it's $100, if I can get a green day, I'm happy. This is day 8 plus 7 on the evaluation, and I haven't had a red day yet. I've had a green day every day, so this will be day 15. So effectively, excuse me, effectively that's three trading weeks, 5 days a week, with green every day. And maybe, I don't know, $470 per day on average if you work that out. So as far as I'm concerned, on 2 contracts, that's all right. That's really good. Techno King, signal bar a bit iffy, yeah. I'll be surprised if we don't have a little bit of the sideways stuff again. I was expecting a downtrend, but I didn't think it'd be this steep, this quick. I was expecting maybe some sideways stuff or a little bit rangy for a while before another push down. But yeah, this is a fair old trade around. See what I mean about that? Just the fact that it's come up to the EMA and it's at the top there. Really, if you think about it, and Mac often says this, it doesn't really matter where you take it. That one, 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 wherever you take them, in a strong downtrend, they just seem to work. The trouble is, where does this trade end? When does the trend end? That's the trouble. I agree. Accountability King, you got to stop calling me sir. I haven't been knighted yet. Doesn't feel right. Once we have the perfect execution, discipline and patience, scaling and money is just numbers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Numbers don't lie. You can work that out. If you want to earn more money, you can upscale. It's just a matter of a slightly different calculation in your automated. It's getting the trades right. And that's what I tend to focus on now. I have had times in the past where I've just been thinking money, 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 and it just doesn't work. But yeah, and I've heard that many times in my life, get the job right and the money will follow. And it will. So I've been average around 300 on one contract. That's really good then if you have been doing that. $300, I'll take it on a contract. Yeah, that's fantastic. On one contract, considering, the scalpers in general make $50 off one contract, so you've been doing really well. If you continue, mate, even if you can do half of that on one contract, you're doing well. Wait until I have a bigger cushion before going to two contracts. It's sensible. There's no rush. Sage 3841 come in. 3841 up here. Yeah, I've been thinking we're going to have something this way at some point. Fife, you've been doing one-to-one. Yeah, is it working for you, mate? Is it? Can't see an area where I've been in at a trade and it hasn't done. Thanks, Fife. Thanks, mate. Where did you get 3.5 point target from? Purely and simply, if you look at that, I mean, the average bar for me is around about 3 points. Sometimes it'll go up. So tick above it, tick below 3.5 points. So that's just what I have, an average. I think I usually have a tick or two more, but I tend to like 350. I usually have a couple of extra ticks, I thought I had one extra tick actually, which cover the commission, so I can get 350. So it's just a rough guess, really. That seems to be the average bar. I don't know if you pick an average bar. What's this? What's that? That's 3.25. Yeah, so tick above, tick below, 3.75. That's quite a bigger one. You get a lot. So that's roughly just a rough idea. I agree. In the beginning, I was pretty focused on every move. Price affected me a lot mentally. The mental bit's the hard bit. After several blown accounts, I started to perceive it differently. Yeah, I think, you know what? I've heard so many different try this, try that, and for me, none of it's worked. The only thing that's made things change for me is just time. And the fact that I'm streaming is definitely helping me because it's just, I don't know, some people find it hard to sort of chit-chat and concentrate at the same time, but it works all right for me. So, but I think ultimately it's just time. It's like anything in your life where you have an emotional period of time. How does it improve? Time. That's, you have a bad period in your life. The only thing really that sorts it out, apart from maybe temporarily, is time. Triple test at the bottom. Here, and here. Yeah, there's nothing there. There was the... I think at some point we've got to come here, haven't we? If it's okay, I'm thinking about going for me after watching a lot of Penguin. I tell you what, mate, watch him and study him. I think he's a great trader. I wish he'd trade live, but a lot of people don't seem to get on with it all right. But I think he's a great trader. He's a technical trader. I like Thomas Wade. He's a lovely bloke. But I think the Penguins guy is more technical. I think he's for me, he seems a bit more experienced than Thomas. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but and not just that, he trades the same sort of points that I'm looking for. I'm looking, to sort of improve my trade size. profit size, which is making all the difference for me at the moment. Although I watch Thomas every day or whenever he puts the videos, but for me, he's definitely the penguin guy. Yeah, penguin. I definitely go for him, mate. I noticed almost every win trade goes a minimum of 3 points. But I still find it hard. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. More deliveries. Where were we? Nothing really happening. Some sideways stuff. Let's pull that down a bit. Ching. There we go. Where are we? DZT, yeah. I think when streaming, you put yourself out there in the world, puts you off from taking silly trades. Absolutely. That's my theories behind it. So, yeah. Basically holding you accountable. Absolutely. It's exactly right. It's true. I'll probably break out soon, not making much at the bottom. Yeah, I think something's going to happen, isn't it? State, King, no runners because. Penguin trades, larger picture, Thomas Wade. Still trades smaller picture, bar by bar. They're completely different traders. Yeah, absolutely agreed. Yeah. I'm my first time here, so you are Arminas. Arminas, is that right? Welcome. Where you from, brother? Where you from? Arminas L. Let us know where you're from. I always like to know where people are from. And Techno King, yeah, of course, yeah. I recognise your Tesla thing. Welcome to you as well. Where you both from? It's nice to know where people are from. Philip, does anyone know what nationality Thomas Wade is? I believe he is. I saw it on his site actually. He's from the Eastern Bloc somewhere. I think he's Czech or something. I can't remember. If you go onto his website, it says where he's from. Or onto Facebook and click about, it does say. I'll have a look for you. Where are you, Thomas lad? There he is. Nothing happened a bit more. Sideways stuff about. He is from Chechnya. Chechnya. Okay, Chechnya. Feeling correction phase. Yep. There has to be, really, isn't there? Disney Czech. You know what? I thought Czech, but it says Chechnya on his. I don't know, somewhere around there in the middle bit, the Eastern Bloc somewhere. What I saw somewhere that they said. I cannot stay for sure. I saw somewhere where they said that. Somewhere where they said that. Okay. Time for coffee. Yeah. I don't blame you. I've just asked my wife to make me one. Michael, you're New Jersey. Croatia, I think. Yeah. Texas, says what? Texas. Czech. Yeah, he's from somewhere around there. In fact, Chechnya, it says, or something like that. I just had a quick look. Canberra King does the move that happens. Does the move that just happened consider as a second entry? This here. We're talking short or long. So that one there, you mean? It's at the top. You could say that's a second entry short. Yeah. Risky because of that. See, they've sort of closed above, so it's risky going low because it's likely going to come low and then shoot up. So if you'd have gotten something like that, especially when it's going sideways, so just be careful when it's going sideways. This is what I was expecting. I'm expecting something a little bit more dramatic than that, maybe something like that, or just a messy area or up to here or something before we may have another push down. So whether it'll do that or not, I don't know. Are you from Lithuania? Oh, we got no one from Lithuania. Welcome, Lithuania. Excellent. Coming to the moon, boys. I think we may get into outer space. I don't know if you just never know, though, do you? Let's bring that down. But I'm expecting something on those lines. I think we've got to pull back a little bit, and maybe this might sort of be something like a. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean that is one hell of a push down, isn't it? See, just when you think it's the top of it, look at it. Oh, Christ. That's a fair push down, considering we've had no news on. That's 90 points. Yeah, that's quite a chunk, isn't it? We've got to get something. We've got to get way back here, and then I think we may even get another push down, but who knows? So the trouble is, how we've drawn this trend channel now, where it's still touching, a pull out, a breakout, and then most breakouts fail because of the amount we've come down. It might not necessarily do that, because if you close this trend channel down a bit, obviously times like this will have already broken out. So you just got to be careful going short. I don't know. Tall move. Looks like we're going to be on a side movement from here. Yeah, I think we've got to at some point. We may even end up something like that. Can't just keep going down like that, especially considering market's only been open an hour and 20 minutes. We may get something like that for a while. I wouldn't be shocked if we did. I mean, we may come down here, but I think have to come down here sideways. I'll be surprised if we do, but what do I know? This is my first time price above the EMA. Might continue alongside. Yeah. So you could say this. No, forget that. Yeah, see, I get a bit wary about counter trend trading, especially at the early stage, because you might go long gear, and then that might come down and stop you out and have two legs down, and possibly. So I think trades like that can be a bit risky. Had this breakout, see, so it is feasible it's coming back down. It might hit this bottom 3 times, just don't know. Sage mark 3832, 3832 down here. Excuse me. You still around, Emily? Are you up and running yet? I did quick have a flick on one of the Facebook channels to see if anybody else had put something. You don't want to be missing all the fun. Let's look on the Apex site, really. No, I can't see nothing on there. Anybody's put anything? No, I just sent a ticket. Have you got any sense you've gone back to bed? Probably still, what is it, about 4 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning for you? That's what you should be at that time of the morning. Took the long 4 ticks only, this one here. Yeah, I did look at it. I'm just wary at the moment. So we've had a couple of pushes out. So we could. You know, it's possible we're going to come down here, but I don't know how much further we can come down. You said you're out of that brand, didn't you? Did you say you got? Yeah, you got 4 ticks. Yeah. I'll also be twitching now. It is sort of a. You might be right, actually. Maybe not. There is a bit of support there, isn't there? Let's have a look. Yeah, there is a little bit of support there, which is resistance here. Yeah, what did that go for? I think it went for about there, didn't it? Yeah, you did well to get them. Yeah, that's why I tend to, as tempting as it looks, you know, 2 legs up. Because we've had this such a strong downtrend and a break, you would think we would be likely to come down, but because it's such a strong trend, I'd have been wary about going short or long there, really. So if I lost, wasn't a big deal. Yeah, what was it? It's not a massive bar, is it? 5. Yeah, it's 2.5 points. That's not too bad. Let's see if we do get down here now. Seem to be having a bit of a, yeah. I'd expect it to get up here, I would, and use some of this area. You shorted the second rejection for some points. This one here. Yeah, that'll be it, won't it? Yeah, see, I that would have nerved me just because it closed above it. Well, it did on my chart anyway, and the EMAs are going a bit flat. It's now tipped down, see where this ends up. We're really going to go down again. You know, it's strange, isn't it, really? See, if you look on the daily, what we've actually had, look at that one, see? It's a massive push down. And look at that one, see? We pushed right up, then pushed down. We've only really done half of that, the way that finished. So it could, especially if we had this strong push down, and then that last couple of days we've pulled back, it certainly could go down a lot further. See how this ends. See, because it's a bit sideways, isn't it? I'd expect it to come down now, but I think that's a bit risky. I'd prefer it to come a bit closer. think it probably will come down here. But if I've already had one trade, I tend to try and get a little bit stricter. And that for me is a bit risky. My first 5 trades was that double top just now. That one there. I take it you're out of it, aren't you? Maybe targeting the weekly at 3806. Where's that down here? 3806. Down here, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked just by looking on the the daily. Yeah, see that likely will make it. Just because we had such a gap just makes me a bit nervous, and I try and avoid them now. Where's it gone to? Yes, if you had a 1.5, you'd have had that. Oh, Wade from Prague, is he? Ah. Czech. Oh. Czech. Prague. Yeah, it's quite hard to distinguish that accent. A lot of them Eastern blocks sound very similar, don't they? Excuse me. Yeah, I think we've had to have this. See if we come down here and push up. Yeah, I know on the 10,000 tick chart it is feathering out, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if we had some sort of something around here before we had another push down. Could call that a failed breakout, couldn't you? So I'll tell you what, let's get rid of that. And move that up to there. That's better. Touch. Perfect there. So we'll call that a failed breakout the range. So I'm just wondering by there, would they class that as a new low then? If we hadn't adjusted this, they probably would. So this may not even quite get there. In fact, it's there now, isn't it? Or isn't it? Yeah, it is. Let's see if it does come down anymore. You would have thought it would push up a little bit. Who knows? Some Americans only learn their geography from games like Call of Duty. That's sort of like your geography lessons in school, is it? Oh yeah, big push down there, look, see, and then rejection. I'd say we're probably coming up here now. As tempting as that looks, it's risky, I think. Yeah, see that push down and rejected, and look where it's closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's rejected straight off there, isn't it? Yeah, if that wasn't such a big bar, I might have a go at that. But for me, I'd still be counter-trend. Yeah, look at the size of it. Like a bloody rocket. When it breaks, it doesn't make a new low. What does that mean? Beats me, mate. See, if it does, well, to be honest with you, it doesn't have to. It just usually does. But we've continuously adjusted this. So it might not. But all that tells us is when it's done that the channel's played out. So then that's where it could have its pullback. You know what I mean? But obviously with such a strong downtrend, it's probably not going to pull back much. So we have had a break and a new low, which it usually does for the most of the time. But it doesn't always. It depends how, it just depends. We're getting a bit sideways here, see? So you have people thinking, well, we're probably going to go up, we've got to. And then other people thinking, well, look what we've done. Surely we can go down some more. So, yeah, it's just always helps if we know where it's likely to go. So more often than not, it'll do that. So when it does break, and we get a good setup, you've got a good idea that a good bearish setup means we're coming down. So it just gives you a better chance of picking a trade in the right direction. Yeah, we certainly did have that, didn't we? But isn't it weird, isn't it? It's all the bodies are closing on that line. And what I see when I see that, a lot of the times, it'll keep trying to push and all of a sudden it'll spike, which it's done there, and then go up. But it's continued to keep trying to go down. So, because a lot of the times when I used to see that, I used to put an order here, a short order, just for a point. And it would quickly hit your point and then reverse. They did a study, asked Americans to point the globe without tables, while some well-known countries are. The average person wasn't even close. Weird, isn't it? Even for England, France, and India. Insulted. Yeah, my geography's all right, actually. I got a pretty good idea. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Thank you, Jacko. Billy King, I want to consider long, but don't want to pick a bottom. Yeah, my experience of picking bottoms is they don't work, or not often. Sometimes they'll work. Just don't know. I expected this was going to happen quite a bit further up. But the trouble is, it's just with such a strong downtrend, you don't know when it's going to, something like this, it might tick above it and then come down and career off down some more. So it's just hard, really. You need proper confirmation, really, that we're going longer at the moment. That's just a correction. Can't keep going down that steep. If it kept on going down that steep, the quicker it comes down, quicker it goes up. But if it slowly starts to teeter out and less steep, and then it'll usually go sideways. And if it does continue to go sideways, chances are then it'll carry on down some more. So when we're doing this, it just gives you an idea that it's likely going to come down some more. Whenever you see chart patterns and you see it pushing from maybe the top left, chances are it'll come out the bottom right, and sort of vice versa. Soccer or football? It's definitely football. It's not called soccer. I think the Americans are only people that call it soccer, I think. I don't know why they call it soccer. See, you call glasses eyeglasses, don't you? As if there was another place you could probably wear them. Yeah, there is some weird difference. I think you call it Iraq, don't you? We call it Iraq. Yeah, there's quite a few differences. You call them diapers, we call them nappies. I'll let you lot argue amongst yourselves. Yeah, Philip, I know what you mean. Sometimes trading alone, I think it's nice. I mean, I used to watch the Panda guy. I mean, he's struggling a bit lately. I didn't watch him because I thought he was an amazing trader. But it's just nice to have someone else's opinion and someone else to talk to. You know, I like having a chat with someone I do. But yeah, it can be quite a lonely old game sometimes. So I think it's nice maybe to have someone else. I suppose some of you will like me talking, others you might turn the volume down a bit. But I think if you like it, it's all right. It just gives you a little bit of company, doesn't it? Soccer came from Associated Football. Yeah. It came from the UK, did it? I don't know. I've gone off football. I have. I'm a cricket fan. I like me cricket, which I don't think you American guys know much about cricket, do you? They're all plain white with a bat and a ball, really. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. And they break halfway through the day and go for lunch and tea. I prefer cricket. It's a very different game. They don't argue with a ref and, you know, all that dramatic rolling over 20 times when they get tripped up that they do in football. And the fans in football are different as well. They can be quite horrific. You don't get that in cricket. You'll rarely see any police at a cricket game. Lots of stewing, but no police. Football games, police everywhere. Police cars, police vans, police on horseback, everything. You're for a geography lesson. Well, I should hope you know where the UK is, Brant, by now. Camberley King, yeah, it can do, mate. Yeah, you can sit by yourself in a little room. It's quite sad, actually, when you think about it, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, sometimes I do like my own space. I'm quite happy having my own space. But when I'm doing something like this, I don't know. I quite like listening to someone else and just getting someone else's ideas and, you know, having a bit of a conversation. Daniel, you love football. You're from Brighton way, aren't you? Oh, what's your team then? Some London club, isn't it? I used to like football. I used to be a Leeds fan, but I just got sick of the trouble. You know, I used to take me stepson sometimes and just to a few games and just. I mean, there's language and there's violent language, and I just got fed up with it. I did. And then I got into cricket, and it's a different game. It's a much more relaxing game. You can sit there and have a beer all day, and the fans are intermingled. And not just that with cricket, when you lose slowly, so you don't get that dropped on your arse kind of feeling that you get from football. Cricket is boring for me. Yeah, some people, it's not everyone's game, is it? Not everyone's game. Quite an intelligent game as well, isn't it? See, a lot of you football fans will struggle with the rules. Everything I know in the UK learned from watching Midsummer Murders. It's either that or The Crown or what's the other one? What's the other program? The other period program. That's like your history lesson on England on the TV. You're a big hockey fan. Yeah, we tend to not do hockey over here. They do have ice hockey, but it's nowhere near as big as it is in the US. Look, there's only low there. I'm not a fan of all the swear. So you don't mind a bit of language. I mean, you know, you guys and all that, but sometimes it can sound really blooming violent if there's kids involved in. You know, I've heard flaming death threats and all this sort of stuff. You know, if there's loads of kids and stuff. Yeah, you got to know when to turn it down. I mean, most young lads are pretty good, aren't they? When they see kids, they're pretty good. But something about football fans sometimes, and they get carried away, and it just can get out of hand sometimes. Michael, you're a Rangers lad, are you? We've had some good fights. I didn't think you get so much violence in American sports, do you? Because I think the thing about you Americans, you don't tend to hold your feelings back, do you? You just, you'll rip into each other and get it over and done with, whereas the Brits sometimes can go a bit quiet and they bottle stuff up sometimes, but you guys are quite vocal with your emotions, aren't you? So it's easier for you to, shout and scream at each other and you don't so much get offended, but over here it'd be a different ballgame. Those were the days. Yeah, I'm rooting to break the record. What do we think that's happening here? Sometimes when it's doing that, and it's nice to have a bit of a chat, isn't it? That's sort of what I was expecting. I was expecting on a slightly bigger scale, though. But I do expect another good move down at some point. I expected it to sort of travel upwards a little bit first before it had another move, but maybe it will. Maybe. Right. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to make a cup of tea and I'll be back up. 13 and right, what's happening? Yeah, I'm just looking at that trade I took earlier. It's not a brilliant trade. I took one similar last week and it got stopped out. It was a lower high. I thought it was going to be okay, but the fact that we had a downtrend, well, I give it an extra tick, and it obviously made the difference, fortunately for me. We do seem to be slowly going like that, don't we? Slight curve. Yeah. Seem like it's starting to dip again, doesn't it? I don't think we can draw anything here yet or not. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Maybe. No, it doesn't look right to me, that. Maybe it's something like this. Okay, so we can get rid of that. See, maybe we'll push it a little bit higher and then it'll start to say, really. A touch of the new. So you're about up here then, are you? Yeah, or are you? Let's have a look at that one. That looks alright, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, we're getting this sort of ascending sort of wedgie thing, aren't we? So, wedgie. Excuse me. Yeah, sort of when you get something like that, they usually then go at the bottom. It's a fair old push down, isn't it? That's for certain. Awesome. How you doing, brother? Third touch of the new trend line. Plenty of space to support. But, yeah. Good for a scalp. Maybe a fair second entry. And about here, this way, that way. Oh, I don't know if I could go long into that. You're on about short here. Yeah, it's possible. I get a bit nervous about that, purely and simply because we're touching these highs. So I would think that we may come back up here, which is, see, we've had this one push up and maybe another. I'm not saying it's gonna, but it's just a bit, I get a bit nervous about that. You could call that a second entry short. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that these are sitting here like this with the EMA perfectly flat there. I probably expected to push up a little bit more, which it is. Just to sort of complete maybe this 18 minutes between periods. Yes, it's stopped here, 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 and here as well. I'd like it to close a bit up here. Hopefully. See if it does close out of here. If we get that sort of leg and it closes out of here, maybe around this midline, I'll be maybe thinking about going short there. Got to say, actually, I remember watching the Super Bowl years ago, and it goes on for hours, doesn't it? It was about 4 hours for a game, something like that. Football, 45 minutes, and that's it. Yeah, Ema's flat, isn't it? I was hoping we get a body close up here somewhere. And then I may think about something short, because it does look like if you look here, 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 and here, every time it touches at the bottom, it's getting lower and lower, and it's the same with the top. So it's giving us the impression it's going down, isn't it? I was expecting some sort of correction, and this looks like it's possibly it. So I am thinking, short again. Not only that, if I can get an order up here somewhere, I'll try and run that down the box. I think it'd go. So I'll try and get some half decent points out of that. But it has rejected off here, isn't it? So it's hard to say. I'm certainly downwards is for me at the moment. I wouldn't be taking any longs at the moment. Wait for the hour candle to close. Where is it at the moment? Is it red, is it? Yeah. Techno King, yeah. Sit and wait. Time to warm your hands up. Yeah, it had to do some sort of ranging. Couldn't continue down there as sharp, really. But I don't think it's going to be long before it starts to go down again. See, that's rejected it off there, isn't it? Every time it comes down, up it goes, up it goes. See, because it's been had such a strong push down, there are going to be traders trying to pick the bottom. What, 2 points short are you from here? It's a second entry short. The fact that the EMA's flat and it's sitting on top of it, and not brilliant signal bar, would have stopped me. I'm still expecting a body up here somewhere. I am. We've had this push up. I'm expecting something else. Let's have a look. No, not that high. Be here. Who knows? Closest green could go higher. Could have a break at the top, couldn't we? I'm still expecting a candle body to close up here somewhere. Because it is using that line, isn't it? We haven't quite there, so I'm expecting it to. And I think if we do, then we'll eventually move to the downside, I think. Because, as it's broken below, it's pushed up, broken below, it's pushed up. Same here and here and here. It's trying to go higher. See, with this this top getting lower and lower, I can't see, but it'll go higher or not much higher. It may come up here. It may have a breakout. But if it does break out and ends up bearish, I think that'd be a great place to take a short then, because I am thinking down. It's clearly saying it's struggling to stay up. So if we can manage to get a body up here or a bit of a push out followed by a big bearish bar, either there or possibly a lower high to go short, and I think that'd be a good trade there. A lot of volume here. So I'm amazed how much volume there is, actually. I thought it would get less and less. I'm kind of freaked out. I said I'd work tomorrow now. I thought Friday would just be dead. And perhaps it might be, but just based on what it's like today, I'm amazed how much. There's loads of volume in it today. No, it's not here, but let's put that to that and see if that might happen. Funny enough, right on that middle line. One push up, two push ups. If it can't get there, then it's going to drop out the bottom, in my opinion. But I'd like it to get somewhere up here and have another good push and a try. Yeah, barbed wire, yeah. If we can get out here and possibly have a breakout and we can get something that looks nice, I think I'd be interested in taking a short there. Goes above 3840. I might look for longs. Up here. I can't see it getting there, to be fair, the way this is working down. They are trying to hold it up, but they'll only do that for so long. I think if it does manage to get lower, it may come back up and retest it, but then I think there's more downwards, I'd say. Not just that, 10,000 tick chart. It's coming closer and closer to the EMA, isn't it? We've had a big push down. We usually get a load of sidewards. As soon as it connects with that nicely with the bearish bar, then it'll go down again. So that's what I'm thinking, a good strong move down again. And same on the daily as well. We had that real strong momentum, didn't we? Then we had a big couple of days, that bullish pin bar and the big bullish candle, and then I'm expecting down again. So, yeah, I don't think it'd be long before it starts to move down again. Sharpish-ish-ish-ish. I'd just like it to come up here first, I would. It's really rejecting off there, isn't it? I want to go below here. Okay, new high. Try to go once, twice. See, I would say there's probably going to be some longs in there. That's a second entry long. Now, for me, the bias is downwards. So if that finishes bearish, I don't think it'd be a bad trade. But just the way it's sideways at the moment, I notice the EMA starting to dip. But I don't like the way it's just shooting straight off that bottom. But if this ends up bearish, I think that could be the catalyst to drop it further. But I think it's a bit risky for me. But if someone else wants to be our guinea pig and have a go at it, no, don't do it. No, it's rejecting, isn't it? Look, off there. Hey Keith, how you doing? Yeah, it's not too bad, mate, actually. It's not too bad. It's done what we sort of expected. There's not been a terrific amount of setups, but that would have been a good one. That one that I did was risky. Fortunately, I gave it an extra tick and it worked in my favour. There's not been a huge amount of setups, but it's not as lashing all over the place like it did a couple of days ago. At least we're getting a bit more of a picture of what's happening. It's like ice fishing. This is stacked. Don't take it. Yeah, it's just risky. Risky all that sideways. So you've got the longs just not wanting to give in, are they? And every time it comes down here, they're pushing off again. But I think ultimately, I'd like to come up here if I can. I think ultimately it's going to go down a bit more. I might be wrong. I wouldn't be shocked if it came up here a little bit for a while. But just the way it's, every time it, it's getting lower and lower. Ice fishing sounds cold. Yeah, it's really getting that sideways, isn't it? Yeah, you do not want to get stuck in that lot, do you? That's less than 2 points, that range. More like 1 3/4. That's a tight old range, that is. Now, if we can get below here, because I'd say the way this is pushed up, there's probably some longs in here, and there's probably some longs in here. So I think if we can push down there, that might give it the catalyst to push down. And I think if it hits that, it may even spill out the bottom of the trend channel. See if this holds down here. But at some points, once it starts eating away at these, I think the longs are going to give up, I think. See if it's down here. It may just reject straight off, but I don't think it will. Okay, so we've broken this low now, so I think now that might give it the catalyst to come down. If we can get below here, I think it's coming out the bottom of the channel. The trap I was waiting for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say that has a pretty good chance now we're going to come down to the bottom of this channel. And then this channel might even turn into a steeper channel then, because we might end up doing something like this. Somewhere around about like that. If we can get below here, I think we're likely to come right down to the bottom of this channel. But there, that's our target, I would say, because just the way it's rejected off there, I think there's probably going to be some longs above there, so their stops are going to be probably a couple below. See if we can get down. Okay, so we've pushed through there. Now I think we're coming down here now, possibly at the bottom. It's a shame there was nowhere to get in there. See, I looked at that and I thought if we can get a lower high. But once we got below here, it was, in my opinion, always going to drop a chunk. So this is where we adjust this. Let's have a look. Now, I would say, let's tell you what, just out of pure interest, let's make this one the same angle as that one. Let's do a social experiment here. Yeah, I'd say it's probably going to be somewhere in the lines of that now. So what I'm going to do is going to be a great old big what's it. So, yeah, I can't see that that's going to do that. Go there and then career down that fast again. May push down here and pull up, but it does have a push down, isn't it? Where would you put this? It would have to be here, really, wouldn't it? Let's put it about there. So when it pushed down, it's probably going to be there, I'd say, something like that. So let's do that. See, I expected it to come right up here somewhere before it pushed down again, which I think it's likely going to do, but I might be wrong. That just might be, we might get back up here somewhere. So let's put that there. Okay, so let's get rid of these. Okay, that's what I expected. Yeah, see, sometimes if you can get a really good signal bar that you think there's going to be some shorts, some longs trapped there, even an order around here sometimes can sort of, that, yeah, 3.5. Yeah, you got 4 points. Yeah, a lot of the times if I used to see a trap like that, I'd put an order here and set it to a point, and it would just tick it and trigger through really quickly. Measured leg from where? You've done it from here, have you? Yeah, there. Where's your measured leg gone from, here or here? I've gone right for the top, I have, just for an overall one. This is what I think we're likely to do. Whether it'll start from up here or something, I don't know, but I just think looking at the looking on the daily, it could certainly come down a lot more. Okay. Let's just zoom in a bit. Let's see what happens. See, I think it's going to retest here. Which, funnily enough, is where the EMA is going to be. If we can get 2 pushes up there, that might be an option to go short. We'll have to see. Trend channel should start at 3846. 3846. Here. 3846 here. And about here. Up there. It could go a multitude of areas, really, couldn't it? Let's have a look here. Where did I have it? Was it there? See, I like the way it's touched there, there. If we take it any higher, it throws it a bit, doesn't it? Put it back. Yeah, it could go either way, really, couldn't it? Once you have it so much, it gets messy, doesn't it? Let's have a look. Excuse me. Okay, I kind of like that. Where did I have it before? Was it here or was it here or was it here? I think it was here, wasn't it? Let's do it here. Slight difference. Touch, 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 touch. I don't suppose it matters too much. Let's make this a bit clearer. Let's push that up out of the way for a bit. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Okay, we don't need that anymore, do we? Or do we? Who wrote that? Where did that come from? Why did I put that there? Can't remember now. Okay, so maybe this may come down a bit steeper. Okay, just for the moment, I'm going to leave it like that. Short-term trend channel. Okay, so we've had that, we've had a break. Okay, so I'm just going to keep this here at the minute. Play nicely. Football. People always argue about football, don't they? No, rugby's a game, a man's game. What are we going to do now? Wait for another pan. Yeah. You boys, what do you like? I've been trading nearly 2.5 hours. What I think I might do today is go for our 5-6 o'clock, so another hour maybe, something like that. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping to catch a nice move down again. Yeah, see that looked right to me. Just the way we've got this gap here. I think that is probably, I don't know, it doesn't look right. I'd say it's probably more on the lines of something like that. Yeah, I'd say that. It's probably, let's put that there, okay. Yeah, that's more like it, I think. It's more like range, isn't it? It doesn't look right as a trend. Yeah, that looks better. Might go as much as here, but I don't know. Yeah, let's leave it like that for now. That looks a bit better. Something didn't look right with the trend. Let's continue him down. Ah, that's better. So we've moved down here, haven't we? We've moved into this channel. Yeah, okay. That's better. Oh, some that looks all right to me. What about you, butter? That looks all right. I think it is more rangy with a slightly downward edge, but I think it's gonna if we're gonna move out the bottom anyway. But let's see what happens here. If we can get a, is that a new low? Let's have a look. No, I don't believe it is. No. Okay. Yeah, Jacko, yeah, that looks a bit better, mate, doesn't it? It certainly looks better on the bottom, and yeah, the trouble is, with ranges, they don't always hit the same place, don't we? Does it? But that's sort of certainly a bit of a range, and I think it's just a range with a slightly downward bias, and if we've got an overall downward day, they're probably going to do that, but that looks better. That didn't look right. Not up there or down here or wherever I did it, just didn't look right. Something like that. Who knows? Yeah, that looks much better. Okay. What are we going to do now? We're going to come back up here. Yeah, Daniel, it may do. It may do. I was expecting, because we had such a strong, that it was going to come up here a bit, maybe. Zigzag up here somewhere, maybe up as far as here. I'd be surprised if it just does that and then comes down again, but strange things happen sometimes. Yeah, so if you look at the 10,000 tick chart, we've had that sort of slowly bow in action down, and we've come back up to the EMA, and we may do the same again. On the daily. Is it odd on the daily? Not really. That's the daily. So if we look back, we sort of had the same movements, and we did have such a strong push down a few days ago that we had to come back up here. So there's our pullback. But I suppose we could come down here. What happened the last time we went up there? We'd had the strong push down again, yeah. See, look, then we had that pull back, and then look at that, boom, straight down. Look at that one. So it can really rock it down compared to that one, that second push there. There's certainly a lot further that can go, really. So I wouldn't be shocked if it just careered down, but I would have liked it to correct a little bit more first. Okay, so that's so let's call that a triple test off there, can you? The trouble is, in a general downtrend, I wouldn't really want to go long here, because it might just come up here and come down some more. Just wondering. No. Not that there was a setup anyway, if you wanted to take the triple test off the bottom. You know about failed second entry here. See, that is not back close enough, especially because we had a triple test. What I think is going to happen, it'll go like that and then come back come higher. So I think it's going to trigger that one, which it has, and come back higher, personally, because we've had that triple test. So if it did take the failure, depends how strong the down move is. See if that ends as a doji. Oh, my arse will be twitching right about now. Yeah, see, I think it's going to come and tick above here. To take a failure, you see, that far away from the EMA, in my opinion, is risky. Not saying it's not going to work. See, it's a failure and a second entry short, but it's not even touched the EMA, see. Although that is quite steep, but I wouldn't be shocked if that came and ticked above here. Yeah, so if you're taking that failure, you'd have just lost that trade. What would you have got out of it? Not even a point, would you? No. What did it go down? No, you'd have been lucky to get half a point out of that, if that. Yeah, it's for me to go short on that, it's just way too far away from the EMA. Yeah, that's where I like to get it to. Yes, even if you took, so whatever that was, whether you took the second entry or the failure, you crapped out. So. So you took yours off, push down there, didn't you? Yeah. Let's have a look. That doesn't look too bad. Usual, what's it finished? Yeah, the only bit that throws me about it is this gap here. I mean, we have hit, but it's just this gap that looks weird, the way it's come down, gone sideways and come down, so we'll leave it there. So, where are we saying this is coming from? Let's get rid of him for now. Let's wait for it to get down first. Down, sideways, down, sideways. In fact, that is probably. Yeah. Body close, touch, touch. I'd say we're going a bit more. See, we've had this push down here. I would say we possibly will do something like that at some point. fact, let's put it there. Slightly higher and it's out the way a bit, isn't it? See what happens. So let's see if we come up here, or we'll push above it, come down. Triple touch opportunity. Triple touch at the top. Yeah, push down sideways. Yeah, I'm thinking down again. Let's see what happens here. Jacko, let's hold hands so we can't do anything stupid except hold hands. Get very concerned about you, brother. You shouldn't be holding hands with anybody. Apart from your wife or your girlfriend. Or your boyfriend, it could be. Okay. Let's see if we come up here. We'll push out and come down. Let's have a look. See if this ends up bearish. Seems to be like there are no trades unless you really look at them here. I prefer when they yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, they go, here I am, come and get me. Yeah, I like those ones. You can't sort of move your mouse quick enough, can you? Get so excited. Yeah, I do like them. Yeah, I got to say, good trades will just jump out at you, won't they? They'll just jump out and wave their hands at you, and then you just got to hope to God you can get your order in before it comes careering down. Yeah, I like them as well. I think we all like them. Yeah, I'm quite gutted. I said I'd work tomorrow now. With the amount of volume come through today, I think tomorrow will be a cracking day. Maybe if there is any institutional guys still working, they'll probably finish tomorrow or today or half day tomorrow. I don't know. I've not heard nothing about when the market's closing tomorrow. Is it closing normal time? I suppose it will be. Usually you'll get an email and say it's closing at 2 or something, but I've not heard anything yet. So it's the 23rd, isn't it? So it's 2 days. So maybe it might be operating on full strength tomorrow. Who knows? No, there's news tomorrow. Okay. Oh, it is half day, is it? A normal time. Yeah, okay. So, Michael, what you said? The market holiday is Monday. So, is there any trading next week then, is there? After the, is that what you're saying? The market holiday is Monday the 26th. So is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday up until New Year's Eve the same? Look into that. But I remember last year, if I remember rightly, trying to trade in the week after the Boxing Day, and I think it was just tough. I don't think there was much in the way of volume, I don't think. And I think it was, somebody mentioned something about, I don't know, bots eating out stops or something. I don't know how true that is, but because I know there are some automated trading, isn't there? And apparently they were saying bots eating out stops. I don't know. know how true it was. It's just something I remember. And as I'm sort of on a live, building up live money, I'll have a look. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's slow or whatever, as long as you're careful and you're patient and you're waiting for the good setups. I think good setups will always work regardless. Oh, excuse me. Volume, yeah, it probably will be, I think. Yeah, we'll have to see. And I think then probably is it the second or third market should get back to normal. Okay. What are we doing? Let's move that up a bit. I would say, 2 touches there, 2 bollies and a touch. That is probably about right. Okay, so we've had a touch, 2 bollies and a touch. Okay. What was it? 5 o'clock. So let's give it about another half an hour, see what happens. And then we'll have done 3 hours then. Slowing down now. Nicholas, congestion and fly, mate. Absolutely. Can't do nothing there, but just sit and wait and watch, can't you? It's a good test of patience, I've got to say. I remember something Max said. He said that's when you know the real skill traders, that they don't get too excited and try and force a trade. Just sit there patiently, let it get on with itself, let it sort itself out. So whenever it goes like this, I try and remind myself of Mac, thinking of mentioning that. Just sit back and wait. You know, I take a little break, make yourself a cup of tea. This little congestion party. Sorry, Matt, didn't notice it there. Techno King, you're done, are you, bud? Yeah, I think tomorrow you're probably right. You're probably right. It's going to be quiet, I'd say. What is it? A couple of days before Christmas, it's got to be quiet. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of movement here. Love their tea, we certainly do. We love our Yorkshire tea in this house. Yeah, Michael F. correct. Market spends 99% of its time taking other traders' money. Job is to wait patiently while it's doing that and then take the money. It's offered up the other 1% of the time, yeah. Yeah, Techno King, that'll be it now. It's my last day today, so it'll be back after Christmas now. So have a great Christmas, buddy. And if you're around after Christmas, it's probably going to be the 2nd or 3rd, isn't it? I've not looked on my calendar yet. I'm not sure because isn't the Monday on a isn't the first on a Sunday? So they give us an extra bank holiday. Don't they? Let me have a look. The first is on a Sunday, yeah. So the Monday will be the bank holiday, I think. I know it is in the UK, so I'm guessing it's the same for you guys. So probably the 3rd, which is the Tuesday that we're back on. So yeah, have a great Christmas, bud. And we'll chat in the new year, hopefully. A better year for us all. And then when we all become stinking rich, we'll have a nice big boat and we'll all meet up for a session. Monday we close, yeah. So that'll be on the Tuesday. That'll work out right, that will. I think I've said I'm going to work the Monday anyway, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, possibly Friday actually as well, I think. Yeah, same to you, Michael. Are you done, are you, bud? Have a great Christmas, mate. Yeah, it's going slow now, isn't it? Do something. It's quite a push down, isn't it? Here, isn't it? It's nearly 100-point move down. That's a fair old move, that. So if you'd have gone up here, you'd be feeling good right now, wouldn't you? See some of these, if, there are traders that will, excuse me, run a lot of these and just put it on the next swing high. Look, here. You wouldn't have got ticked out, so you'd have been here. You'd have got stopped out there, so you'd have grabbed that move if you'd have put it on every swing high. Yeah, you would have done. Here. Got stopped out here, so you'd have got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 10, 55-point move. I wonder what the biggest runner everyone's got. But you'd have certainly, yeah. Well, that'd have been nice, wouldn't it? Got a divergence on my 5-minute delta. I don't use anything like that. I know a trader buddy of mine uses delta. Marlon, he always uses some what do you call it? Trade, but what's it called? Order flow. He uses some order flow as well. Just to sort of give him confirmation of who's in the market. And stacking up orders to go, up or down, wherever they're going. Yeah, you and me both, mate. Cumulative delta. No, I've not used it myself. I know it comes as part of a package which you can rent from. I forget what they're called now, but I know Marlon, trader buddy I chat to a lot. I think he still uses it. He pays $30 a month to rent it. I think it works for him. Just gives you confirmation if you're going to go short here, and there's loads of shorts stacking up in the order book. A lot more shorts are long. Helps sort of confirm, and I suppose it gives you an idea of when to come out of a trade as well. You got 1.5 points on which one? That one? Yeah. I'm guessing it was there. So you went Just yeah. What's going to happen down here now? I wonder. Trade with volume profile to help me read the price action. You're up 175. Good on you, mate. Green's green. That's all I try to do in a day is just make sure I come out green. What green day is this? Day 8, isn't it? Yeah, 8 and 7. So I've had 15 days in the green. So 3 weeks, 3 trading weeks, all in the green. So that's as good as you can get it, I think. You trade legs. Wasn't standard second entry. I'll look at volume analysis. I think, yeah, that's a lot to do with, what's it, isn't it? Order flow, isn't it? Is that it? Gives you what traders are looking at or what orders are pending, in which direction. 21 green days, 1 red day. But nice, well done. Yeah, it's nice when that happens, isn't it? I'm going to call it. Yeah. Have a good Christmas, Jacko. We'll see you in the new year, buddy. Yeah, sometimes when it drags a bit like this. You're welcome, mate. I won't be here tomorrow, but obviously you guys will. I'll still be around. No, it looks at previous. Oh, I got you. Okay, don't have access to a phone yet. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to give it. I think I'm going to call it myself there, actually. It's getting real slow, isn't it, now? I've got some stuff I've got to do anyway, so I think we're just going to maybe zigzag, continue, slow down. It's just getting a bit slow. We got about 3 hours. Yeah, I think that's it for me, guys. So that'll be it now for me until the 3rd, I think it is. So I'm going to mark my chart up later and post it on Facebook. So look, everyone, I appreciate all you guys hooking up with me. It's just nice to have some other guys to chat with. So we're getting a nice little bunch of guys here and girls. So it just makes trading a lot more interesting when you can run ideas, through other people. So look, have a great Christmas. You too, Keithy, yeah. Have a great Christmas, all you lot, for yourselves and your families. Have a nice break. Come back all nice and positive. And then hopefully 2023 will be a nearly nice, positive year. So look, yeah, have a great Christmas, guys. And a great new year. You're locked out of Facebook, Daniel, are you? Yeah, I've been locked out of Facebook myself a few times, mate. Get into some heavy conversations. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. You're welcome, everybody. Have a great Christmas and a new year, and we'll catch up on the 3rd, normal time on the 3rd, raring to go again for a new year. So have a great Christmas, have a safe Christmas, and I'll talk to you all.